Welcome to the Zenith Voice. We are about to begin the full audio experience of Stop Talking, Start Winning, the quiet discipline of elite achievers. The truth is brutal. You are talking too much. You are celebrating anticipation instead of results. Stop performing the role of competence and demand the reality of competence. True power is silent. Your strategy is private. Your focus is invisible. The world doesn't need to hear your plans. The world only needs to see your outcome. The journey to transformation starts now. Chapter 1. Kill the announcement. The fatal flaw of seeking validation. Listen closely. Your biggest enemy is not failure. It is anticipation. It is the urge to announce your plans, the desperate need for a simple nod of approval. You think you are building accountability. You are wrong. You are exposing your discipline to a fatal flaw. You must kill the announcement. You must bury the plan until the result is undeniable. The validation trap is weakness. When you speak your goal into existence, your brain receives a counterfeit reward. That is the validation trap. The brain cannot distinguish between the effort of doing and the satisfaction of talking about the doing. You tell your friends you are going to launch a business. They say, "That's amazing. I'm so proud of you." A flood of dopamine hits your system. It is a cheat. You feel the glow of accomplishment without moving a single muscle. You have successfully tricked yourself into celebrating the 0-point start line. This is the death of quiet discipline. Silence is your shield. You have a choice. You can have the temporary applause or you can have the permanent result. You cannot have both. The choice is fundamental. The approval of others is not motivation, it is dependence. You don't need their permission, you need your own commitment. Stop searching for external validation. It is a temporary high. It is a sugar rush that leads to a performance crash. Your silence protects your energy. Your silence preserves your motivation. Use that energy for execution, not for narrative construction. Enforce the 72-hour rule. You want transformation? You need structure. You need iron rules. The first rule is the 72-hour rule. When a new intention forms, a massive goal, a career shift, a lifestyle overhaul, you must enforce a 72-hour period of absolute, complete silence. Do not speak the plan. Do not text the idea. Do not write the blog post. You work in the dark. The work must begin before the noise begins. This is the crucial test. Most people fold in the first 24 hours. They fold because they cannot handle the internal pressure of a secret commitment. They crave the external release. Don't be most people. During those 72 hours, your focus is entirely on the first crucial steps of execution, not the glorious narrative of the finished product. What is the single hardest, most boring task you need to complete? Do that. Complete the first module. Secure the basic tools. Write the outline. That's the key. Work in private. Succeed in private. When the 72 hours pass, you have momentum. You have proof of concept. Only then does the talking matter. And even then, your words should be minimal. It's not about excitement, it's about execution. It's not about performing, it's about producing. Own your failure and success. This entire chapter is built on the foundation of self-reliance. True self-reliance means your internal score is the only one that matters. It is a private ledger of effort and output. Stop giving your audience power over your motivation. If you win for yourself. The reward is the finished work, the achieved transformation, not the praise. If you tie your success to applause, the moment the applause stops, your motivation dies. You become a puppet of public opinion. If you fail, you must fail in private. The lesson is yours alone to dissect. When you announce a failure publicly, you invite pity, excuses, and narrative comfort. That comfort kills the necessary pain of the lesson. Learn in private, recalibrate in private, relaunch in silence. Your goal is to become untouchable, to become immune to both excessive praise and unwarranted criticism. The only way to achieve that immunity is by building an internal mechanism for reward and correction. You are your own coach. You are your own judge. You are your only audience. Silence is your shield. Deploy it now. Transition. You have sealed your mouth. You have protected your focus. Now you must protect your time. The next step is to use that silence to execute when the world is sleeping. We must now turn to the bedrock of all elite achievement. Up next, we demand action in Chapter 2, the discipline of the unseen hour, mastering the invisible grind. Chapter 2, the discipline of the unseen hour, mastering the invisible grind. Chapter 1 sealed your mouth. It protected your goals from the poison of external validation. Now we must protect your time. The battle for success is not won in the spotlight. It is won in the dark. The true elite are defined by what they do when no one is watching. This is the invisible grind, the relentless, unglamorous effort that never gets filmed or applauded. You must master this period. The 5 a.m. contract. Every successful person operates on a private contract, a non-negotiable agreement with themselves. This contract is executed during the unseen hour. The unseen hour is that block of time where preparation meets zero distraction. For many, it is 5 a.m. It is the time before the phone starts buzzing, before the family wakes up, before the world places its demands on you. This time is your sacred ground. It is non-negotiable and critically non-reportable. You have a choice. You can start your day reacting to the world, or you can start your day building your world. If you let the external world dictate your first move, you are already losing. You are not a leader. You are a responder. The unseen hour is where you put in the 100% focused, deep work that moves the needle. This is where you conquer your own resistance before it has a chance to form. This is where you earn your day. That's the key. This time is not for checking social media. It is not for light reading. It is for the difficult, complex task you keep avoiding. The work that truly requires your full mental power. Commit to the unseen hour. It is the single biggest leverage point in your discipline. Repetition over revolution. Many people wait for the revolutionary moment, the big idea, the massive announcement. They wait for the bolt of lightning. This waiting is a failure of discipline. Success is not a single dramatic announcement. It is the brutal, boring repetition of small, correct actions. It is showing up every day. It is doing the same thing again and again, just slightly better. Boring is powerful. The 1% improvement is the engine of elite performance. You don't need a massive overhaul. You need consistency. If you get 1% better every day, you are not 365% better in a year, you are 37 times better. That is exponential growth. That is what quiet discipline delivers. It's not about flashes of brilliance, it's about daily persistence. Stop chasing the high-profile, glamorous shortcut. Embrace the grind. Embrace the fact that your success will look dull to an outsider. They see the result. They don't see the thousands of hours of repetitive, unexciting work that made the result inevitable. You don't need their permission to be boring. In fact, boring is your competitive advantage. The work is the work. Do the repetition. Isolate the input. You were told to control what leaves your mouth. Now you must control what enters your mind. Your focus is a finite resource, and every external input, news, gossip, external opinion, is a tax on your mental clarity. You must isolate the input. Stop consuming mass market noise that has no direct correlation to your current mission. If it doesn't help you execute, it helps you fail. Limit unnecessary exposure to breaking news. Limit the constant stream of external opinion about things you cannot control. Your brain is a high-performance machine. You would never put contaminated fuel into a race car. Stop feeding it contaminated data. Your input must only be focused on execution and learning. Read the manuals, study the data, absorb the knowledge that directly enhances your current task. It's not about distraction, it's about direction. You must create a sanctuary of focus. The unseen hour is not just about time, it is about mental isolation. Cut the cord to the constant stream of non-essential information. Control the gate of your mind. Transition. You have protected your commitment through silence, and you have protected your time through the unseen hour. The next crucial step is ensuring that the energy and focus you have cultivated is channeled towards results, not excuses. The time for justification is over. Up next, we examine the brutal reality in Chapter 3, Execution is the only conversation. Trade noise for momentum.
Chapter 3. Execution is the only conversation. Trade noise for momentum. You are silent. You are focused in the unseen hour. Good. But discipline is not a passive state. It is an aggressive commitment to action. It is not enough to simply not talk. You must replace the time spent talking with time spent doing. Execution is the currency of the elite. Everything else is commentary. This chapter strips away the excuses. We are moving beyond preparation and into undeniable, tangible output. The metric of output. Stop measuring your day by effort. Stop measuring your day by time spent thinking about the task. Your timesheet is a lie. Your calendar is irrelevant. You must shift your measurement to the metric of output. The only conversation that matters is units produced. If you spent 2 hours discussing the task, you wasted 2 hours. If you spent an hour organizing the files, you spent an hour preparing to work. None of that is output. Output is the finished code, the written page, the completed sale, the run mile, the tangible, objective unit that did not exist before your effort. Your language must be action-oriented, not narrative-oriented. Replace "I am working on it" with "I have finished X." This demands brutal honesty. You have a choice. You can clock in 8 hours of busy work or 3 hours of genuine output. The difference is the silent gap between the amateur and the professional. The only way to trade noise for momentum is to make momentum the only acceptable metric. Track your output ruthlessly. That's the key. Do not allow perceived effort to masquerade as actual progress. The cost of narrative. Every time you stop executing to craft a perfect narrative, you pay a hidden tax. The narrative is the excuse. The narrative is the explanation. The narrative is the perfectly worded reason why the project is late or why the system is flawed. Every minute spent crafting a perfect story or excuse is a minute stolen from building the result. Elite performers prioritize the doing over the explaining. They understand the fundamental truth. The result speaks louder than any explanation ever could. Your work must speak for itself. You do not need a public relations department for your personal productivity. It's not about justification, it's about demonstration. Do not get sucked into defending your process. Do not waste precious focus detailing the complexity of your struggle. The world does not care about the complexity of your struggle. It only cares about the quality of your product. Save your narrative energy. Direct that intense focus back into the build. The cost of narrative is always higher than the cost of immediate action. The principle of non-reactivity. Execution is a state of constant forward motion. Arguments, debates, and justifications are anchors designed to stop your momentum. You must embrace the principle of non-reactivity. When your methods are questioned, when your pace is criticized, or when your goals are debated, do not engage. Do not waste your mental energy trying to win a verbal battle. Your time is too valuable for that. Your focus is too precise. Your only defense is the undeniable, objective result. Let the results of the unseen hour silence the critics. Your action is your answer. This requires immense internal toughness. You must have the discipline to walk away from the argument, to choose silence over vindication. The moment you stop to justify, you give the external noise control over your internal state. You don't need their permission to continue. You don't need to win the debate. You need to win the mission. Let your output stand as the final, unmovable authority. The ultimate display of confidence is not an eloquent reply. It is the steady, quiet production of proof. Transition. You have replaced talk with momentum. You have replaced noise with output. But life will test this momentum. You will face opposition, external and internal. The final step is to ensure that your quietly built success is not fragile, but permanent. Up next, we secure the future in Chapter 4, The Permanence of Results, Why Quiet Discipline Lasts.
Chapter 4, The Permanence of Results, Why Quiet Discipline Lasts. The foundation of inner respect. When you work silently and achieve results, you build an internal respect that cannot be taken away. This self-respect is the most potent and permanent form of motivation. Sustain the silence post-win. The true test of quiet discipline is what you do after a victory. Do you rush to announce it, or do you immediately apply the learned systems to the next challenge? Elite achievers reset the clock instantly. The legacy of quiet action. Ultimately, the greatest achievements are backed by years of invisible work. This is the legacy that lasts, not the ephemeral applause. The work is the reward. Repetitive phrase, the work is the reward. Closing script, the 1-minute challenge. You have heard the truth. Now you must integrate it. The noise must end today. The talking stops now. Your potential is not a speech. It is a contract signed in solitude. You must stop waiting for permission to build. You must stop seeking applause for effort. This is not about being antisocial. This is about being anti-fragile. It is about building a core of steel that requires nothing from the outside world. This is the discipline that separates the contender from the champion. This is the discipline of the Zenith voice. Your success will be the loudest statement you ever make. Go dark, go deep, go build. Stop talking, start winning. The choice is now.